scorer on Virginia Tech's team, is on the bench right now, being replaced by Will Johnson, who's a 40% three-point shooter. Eddie was 0 for his last 7 three-point shots and in a bad slump. So James Johnson is hoping that Will Johnston can get them started offensively.
And we should point out that Eric Green, who got taken into the locker room at the conclusion of the Georgia Tech game because of dehydration, is 100% today, and he even had a message for his coach along those lines.
He said, "Don't worry about me, coach. I'm ready to go. Let's get everybody else in line." You know, what a terrific leader. Obviously getting bumped and banged and bruised. He could always take a little time off. Nice job there by Green, anticipating the pass, creating a turnover.
So Eric Green, third in the nation in taking 21% of his team's shots, is the focal point for Virginia to try and slow him down. They start with Jontel Evans at 5'11" on him.
Well, he takes 21% of the shots, but on the year, averaging 35% of the scoring. So not only does he take the shots, but he's extraordinarily effective.
This is Barksdale trying to work it inside with a shot clock at 6. Sedarian Raines has the offensive rebound for the Hokies in a fresh 35. Now Brown, quick shot. Only once in their previous matchup did Virginia Tech score a field goal with more than 20 seconds on the shot clock. Virginia wants to slow you to a crawl on the defensive end.
And the only way you can do that is to play solid defense, to be able to help, be able to stick to your man, cut down on the penetration.
Justin Anderson's been shooting the ball well, but off the mark there. Virginia coming off of a win at Maryland, 80-69. They never trailed in the second half in College Park. There's a double from Mitchell.
And if you notice, Eric Green doesn't come down and take the first shot available. He tries to get his teammates involved. You know, certainly he's a last resort kind of scorer.
Created some space, but left it short. Virginia with the rebound as Evans comes away.
But it's so important for Virginia Tech to get other guys involved. And of course, it's really difficult to do that against a defense of the quality of Virginia.
Mitchell falling away, has it redirected by the Hokies and Sedarian Raines. Now Virginia Tech on the run, but nothing to him. Virginia under Tony Bennett, once again, one of the best defensive teams in the nation, no matter how you slice it. And Joe Harris makes them pay.
And speaking of the best, the most accurate three-point shooter in the ACC, Joe Harris.
Green guarded by Evans still. Will run the baseline and try to get free. Here he comes to the corner. Nothing there. This is Raines. They're continuing to double the post. Kick to Johnson, who can shoot it from deep, and we're tied.
And that's what James Johnson wants out of Will Johnston. Another guy who can be an outlet, who can spot up and knock down threes. That's Jarrell Eddie's job, but Eddie hadn't been getting it done.
Now, Will Johnson, 16 field goals this season. 14 of them are from deep. So you know where his shots are coming from. Here's Harris off the curl. He's got another.
Boy, Joe Harris has been a house of fire last 4 games, averaging 21 points, 57% from the field.
He had 22 last time out against Maryland. Only missed 1 shot and went 3 of 4 from deep. And now Raines with the jump hook.
Boy, it's so vital for Virginia Tech to get other guys confident enough to work their offense so the reliance isn't totally on Eric Green. Takes the pressure off Green and puts the pressure on the Virginia defense.
Defenders slipped. It's another 3 for Harris. He doesn't need much space, but that time he had plenty.
We look at the double team right there. Everybody's going to step out, try to get the ball out of Eric Green's hands.
Green slices, gets in the lane, but fouled. That'll be the first on Joe Harris. 4.5 minutes in
The position that he would play, obviously, is being manned by Will Johnston right now. Johnston 1 of 1 from beyond the arc. Exactly what Virginia Tech needs to be able to stretch the defenses and keep the defense off of Eric Green, at least temporarily.
So Marshall Wood and Marquise Rankin have checked into the game for the Hokies. Eric Green, the 4th best free throw shooter in the ACC this season, goes 1 for 2. He is among league leaders. Green is in every shooting category when it comes to percentages, and that's mind-numbing considering the percentage of shots that he takes for the Hokies.
That's what we talk about by being efficient. He may take a lot of shots, but it's a guy who certainly is able to put him down with some regularity.
Jontel Evans inside among the bigs. And speaking of bigs, the Hokies have doubled on the block. Here's Green trying to get one off. And Raines with another offensive rebound for the Hokies, and the left hand is good.
Eric Green needs people to bail him out. If he feels the pressure he has to shoot, shouldn't have to feel the pressure that he has to make every single one. And Sedarian Raines is helping him with that feeling.
Wood with the rebound for Virginia Tech. They would love to run, but the Cavaliers shut down running games. Corner 3. And it came early in the shot clock for Marquise Rankin.
And Marquise Rankin just starting to round into shape right now. Missed several games because of injury and starting to come back. Wow.
Teal Mitchell with the strong move.
Teal Mitchell, nice post move and running on the baseline. He wasn't nearly as offensive minded last year as he is this year, but then again, they had Mike Scott manning the post. It's Mitchell's turn now. He's averaging 13 a game. See the double team right there. Anderson just comes out, leaves his man totally to get the ball out of Green's hands.
Raines, jump hook again. And Jesperson comes out with the rebound for Virginia. Teal Mitchell had a strong game against Wisconsin on the road in Madison, perhaps the best win of the season for Virginia. Strong enough that Bo Ryan raved about his performance inside after the game. Green on the run.
Well, that came up short. Something Eric Green usually doesn't have to worry about when he drives and gets all the way to the basket. Even though he told his coach he's 100% after the dehydration scare, you wonder if it hasn't sapped a little bit from him. Even though it's early in the game, you see him coming up short on some jump shots. You saw him miss a layup that normally you would expect to go down for Eric Green.
Green gets his hand on that one and steals it away. He is 0 for 3 from the floor. He got plenty of medical attention after the Georgia Tech loss, but he never received IV fluids. Baseline jumper goes for Marshall Wood, his first bucket. Virginia Tech scoring early in the shot clock, which is not normal for Virginia to allow.
Well, they're pushing the ball up the floor, and there's so much attention given to Eric Green that there are some openings that Virginia Tech is exploiting.
Harris draws the foul as he works it in the paint this time. That'll be the first on Marquise Rankin. And so Joe Harris goes to the free throw line. He's led his team in scoring 15 times this season.
Well, Tom, we talked about Virginia Tech needing or robbing to go with Eric Green's Batman. A whole lot of guys auditioning for the part right now.
Hall of Justice doors are wide open as we speak. A couple more subs come in. Joey Van Zegeren and Robert Brown for the Hokies. 4 off the bench, but no Jarrell Eddy yet. Harris into double figures. Eddy gives him 13 points a game, but he was scoreless in 12 minutes. Spiked a water bottle in the loss to Georgia Tech. And saw his playing time limited after that.
Okay, one guy on the floor right now for Virginia Tech that could be of extraordinary help would be Robert Brown. He's a guy that's an explosive scorer. Again, if you take a look at Rankin getting off, Brown's an explosive scorer, but he just hasn't had the luck of shots dropping for him. He's much better than 32% from the field and 23% from beyond the arc. And you can see it may affect his confidence because he's not even looking for a shot.
Tanner Barnett on the floor for Virginia, as is Evan Nolte. This is Mitchell now. The swing to Jones for the straight ahead three is short. Tevin Jones, a second-year freshman from Kannapolis, North Carolina. Wood will pull from three. It's only made 6 on the season.
We were talking about that in practice. I was talking to Coach Johnson and asked, why is Wood practicing threes? And he just kind of smiled. But in the end, you're right. I mean, at this point in time, if you're going to do it, this stage of the game is probably the one time you want to. At the time the game was tied early in the game. But if he makes a habit of that, you can expect to see him sitting next to the coach.
Brown splits the double, finds Wood. Second three-point attempt, and that one rattles home.
Well, if he doesn't make it, he's going to be sitting next to the coach. They were about to dust off the seat right there. Now his teammates are laughing and talking stuff to him.
It's the first lead of the game for the Hokies. They play off of Jones, and his second three is good. Second time's a charm for both Wood and Jones.
Brown can't really get loose for a shot, but he's not really going after a shot assertively. And again, loss of confidence in my mind.
Shot clock at 5. Rankin.
Nice pass.
Wood lost the handle on it, and Virginia with the takeaway.
That's a terrific pass inside. All Wood had to do was secure it and explode to the basket for a dunk.
Line change waiting for the Hokies. 4 new subs at the next dead ball. And a foul inside. Virginia Tech trails by 2 on the road to Virginia.
Right now bodes well, especially with Eric Green, not able to find the range.
Akil Mitchell, junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, to the free throw line. 68% shooter from the charity stripe, and one more coming for Mitchell. Mentioned the bench points more tonight for Virginia Tech than they had in the entire game last time out against Georgia Tech. Mitchell takes a seat. Darian Atkins has been limited with a right foot injury, shin splints to be precise, and he is on the floor for a few minutes here now. Jarrell Eddy's on the floor for Virginia Tech. Rankin threw it away.
Well, I know what Rankin was trying to do. C.J. Barksdale has got to be more aware. The error obviously on Rankin's part, but that ball was high enough for Barksdale to go up, get it, and he had a layup. That nonverbal communication has got to go 2 ways.
Hokies show zone. It's dangerous with Harris on the floor, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got to be able to get to him quickly.
Jarrell Eddy saves it on the baseline. Let's see if he can find some confidence here in his first minute on the floor tonight. 0 for 7 from 3 is Eddy over the last 2 games. He's deep in the corner.
Well, Sedarian Raines really getting good position on Atkins. Teammates not able to get him the ball, and he points to him and tells him to come out here, but the Virginia pressure prevents the pass.
Green steps into his shot and misses again. He has yet to make a field goal here with 8:32 to go in the first. 0 for 4 from the floor.
Virginia Tech persists in the 2-3.
This is Barnett. And an offensive rebound against the zone.
That's the risk you take, particularly with long-range shooters. Long shot, long rebound.
Why not for Atkins? And Green gets it and wants to run, pushing it with no numbers whatsoever, and he draws a blocking foul on Tevin Jones to the home crowd's dismay.
Hey, Virginia talked about in transition building a wall around the basket, not allowing Eric Green to penetrate it in transition. And we're going to take a look coming right at you. You see three guys, almost a triangle, no place for Green to go. He forced the issue and benefited from the call.
Green got a little banged up when he went to the hardwood. Quick look inside to Brown, and a great play drawn up, and he goes right over the top of Barnett. Assist to Eric Green.
And boy, that goes a long way in building the confidence of Robert Brown. We talked about his slump, 32% from the field, but if you get a couple of easy ones during the course of the game, you feel better about yourself and a little more confident.
Virginia with three really good long-range shooters on the floor right now. They try to get it to Barnett, stolen away. And Barnett taps it away from Green from behind. Virginia leads 21-20. The Hokies right. Rankin's got 5. Wood has 5. Raines, Johnson, and Brown have all contributed for the Hokies, with Green held without a field goal. So Darian Raines tracks it down off the inbounds. Green guarded by Evans once again. He was free for a moment. Then Nolte helped. In traffic is Brown. Shot clock at 5. Green double. Barksdale gets rid of it. Brown lost it on his way up. Shot clock violation. Typical Tony Bennett defense.
Well, the key to that defense was every time Eric Green got the ball, they double teamed, didn't worry about who was left open. As long as they got the ball out of Green's hands, then they recovered.
Virginia defensively is 3rd in the nation, allowing just 0.86 points per possession, but Virginia Tech before that one had scored a point of possession so far tonight. Despite nothing from the floor from Eric Green. Here's Evans in the paint. Made it count. Nice play.
Little man among the trees.
Corner 3. Just off the iron, and here comes Virginia. Don't sleep on them. They can run a little bit. Deep 3, Harris. Nope.
I'll tell you what, I'm surprised Anderson twice now was right point blank at the basket. One, he was in the air, nobody challenging him, and he opts to throw it back outside.
But for a moment, Virginia was getting points for passes.
I tell you, I mean, they were looking for Joe Harris. Okay, I can concede that, but not when you're point blank in front of the basket. This game has changed, man. I don't understand it anymore.
Bunny missed inside by Raines, got a little off balance. Mitchell with the turnaround. He has 5. Timeout, Virginia Tech. Count of Rivalry Week, presented by Wendy's. Tomorrow night on ESPNU and also live on Watch ESPN.
Well, Jarrell Eddie in the ball game right now. And first time handling the ball. As a turnover.
You talked to James Johnson about that this afternoon. How, as a coach, do you raise confidence for guys who are struggling?
Oh, you got to stay positive. You got to give him opportunities and put him in positions where he can be successful. I'm not so sure Eddie is one of those ball handlers that creates his own shot. He's a terrific catch and shoot guy, like Joe Harris.
It sure is. That's his first 3 outside of the first 4 minutes. 13 now for Harris. That went off of Green's foot. Nobody went to get it, but it will be Virginia Tech basketball after Anderson stepped on the sideline. It's an 11-2 Virginia run. Tony Bennett's squad has kind of come out of its shell offensively the last 2 games. 78 points or more for consecutive games under Tony Bennett for the first time in his 7-year coaching career, including his time at Washington State. Eddie. No.
All right, a rebound by Sedarian Reigns, but he throws it away.
6th turnover for Virginia Tech. Tony Bennett's squad has 10 field goals today, 5 of them from deep. He's in his 4th season as the Virginia head coach. Already 70 wins and 3 trips to the NCAA tournament in his 6 completed years as a head coach. Here's Evans. Mitchell.
But are you surprised that Virginia's shooting a 3? Tony Bennett, outstanding three-point shooter, still holds the NCAA career three-point percentage mark at 49.7%. So he understands the value of the 3. And Tom, we talked about the zone and the worries of leaving Joe Harris open in the zone. It has nothing to do with the zone right now. It's transition.
Eric Green, the nation's leading scorer, is 0 for 7.
He's forcing them right now.
Mitchell.
Coach's career mark. Still outstanding.
49.7% for Tony Bennett. Green nearly lost the handle on it. Wood has hit already 1 3, got another. Now, I didn't think we'd be saying this, but now Robbins carrying Batman.
No question. Well, you know, that makes for a terrific ending. If he can continue carrying him and staying competitive. But Virginia getting away from him right now.
Johnson with the steal.
Johnson did not want to bring that ball up. You can tell, very hesitant. See, the mindset right now of Eric Green is that, you know, I've done it for this team for so long. I've been a vital part of our offense. I've got to get going now. We're falling behind. It's on me, and he's forced some shots.
And maybe another 0 for 8 now from the floor. His only point came from the free throw line on a drive to the basket.
You know, to some extent, he's got to rely on his teammates now as they have relied on him. He's got a bunch of guys that are hot like Wood and others. He should make them better, become the decoy, force the defense to continue to watch him and make other guys better.
Remember, Eric Green comes into this game 6th in the ACC with 4 assists a game. Wood, no. We approach halftime. Virginia leads Virginia Tech by 10. And Tony Bennett will use the timeout for the Cavaliers. It's a series that began in 1915, and like most rivalries, the Virginia Tech series has had its share of thrilling games. 2008 just might be the most memorable.
4 seconds to go. Hokies down 1. It'll be Deron Washington. What a shot! What a shot!
Now let's take a look at this epic battle within the ACC, brought to you by the Vikings. Virginia has won 4 of the last 5, but over the last 10 seasons, we've had 4 overtime games and 5 games decided by 3 points or less.
And I tell you, that young man who scored that, Darren Williams, very emotional, you know, kind of a leader with those emotions on that team. That was a fun team to watch.
Hokies have had some scores. They just haven't had that much team success, but their score tonight is quiet, while for Virginia, Joe Harris is carrying the Cavaliers. 16 points on perfect shooting from deep. And it's the Cavaliers by 10.
Returned in Djibouti, Africa, 2004.
The Battle of Bataan, 1942.
Fort Benning, Georgia, in 1999.
USA. You know, kind of a leader with those emotions on that team. That was a fun team to watch.
Hokies have had some scores. They just haven't had that much as road warriors. They can do that in Chapel Hill and, of course, against Miami. Shot clock winding down.
The NC State win also seems to be kind of iffy from a quality standpoint.
Well, then
but there's ample opportunity.
And what do you make of this Virginia team? Which team are they? Are they the one that's won 6 out of 7 and won in Madison, or the one that lost to Old Dominion?
We're talking about snapshots, and if you're going to take a shot at them today, this is the team I think that Tony Bennett, and maybe even better, that Tony Bennett would like to have on the floor. I think this is the team that's going to compete. They've got everybody together. They've got guys who have been injured, kind of making themselves, reintegrating themselves in the offense. And they've got young guys like Anderson that are starting to play well.
To close the half, Joe Harris has the ball in his hands. Gives it up. Evan Nolte got it! He rattles home a fall-away 3. And that's the kind of half it's been for Virginia.